With my mind moving around, with my ear up to the ground, I'm searching to behold the stories that I told. When my back is to the world, but we're smiling when I turn.
And now, fanatics, it's time to make some noise for the stars of the show. Your 2025 Welland Jackfish, presented by Crime Stoppers of Niagara. Leading off, the second baseman, number 20, Brendan Luther, on the field as well. The Tecumseh Rangers 8U team. Batting second, center fielder, number 11, Gio Morello. Batting third, shortstop, number 4, Jonah Weisner. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 23, Robert Mullen. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 10, Mateo Porcelado. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 24, Grayson Barrett. Batting seventh, right fielder, number 21, Brandon Hoope.
Hatred, love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Fans, Doug Wilford. Fans, please direct your attention to the mound tonight for tonight's ceremonial first pitches. We have two of them. Please welcome for Youth Baseball Night, Griffin Mills of the Welland Junior Jackfish. Oh, sign him up. Where's Jason McKay when you need him? Right down the middle. And now, fans, please welcome from the NLL National Lacrosse League Halifax Thunderbirds and Major Series Lacrosse from the Six Nations Chiefs, pro lacrosse player from St. Catharines, Ontario, Tyson Bell, to deliver tonight's first pitch. with the lacrosse stick. Once again, thank you to Griffin Mills and Tyson Bell. And now we head down to Ryan for tonight's Play Ball. Kids, take it away.
All right, Fanatics, welcome to Saturday Night at the Pond. We got Leighton, Ramsey, and Brody here from the Tecumseh Rangers to get this party started on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Welland Stadium. Saturday night under the lights here in Welland as the Welland Jackfish looking to get back in the win column tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Welcoming Toronto to the pond for the first time in the 2025 season. I'm Alec Murray alongside my partner Reese Dumani for this one. Reese, Euclides Layer gets his first home start of the season. An impressive start to the season for Uke. 3-0 with a sub-3 ERA. Layer's been dominant on the bump. All 3 of his starts coming on the road. This time, it's in front of a lot of Fanatics here on a Saturday night, toasty Saturday night in Welland. Crisp 25 degrees. Cloud cover as we get set for first pitch here tonight, leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan DeSantos steps into the batter's box. And Layer's first offering is downstairs for ball 1, and we are underway. 6:07 first pitch. Beautiful night for baseball in the Rose City Race.
It is. It is. I think the clouds work in our favor. If the sun was out, it would be 10 times hotter.
So the ball's fouled off. There's a souvenir on the second pitch of the night. 1-1.
Coach trying to get the crowd into it. Get the Jackfish back in the win column.
We'll go around the defensive alignment for the Jackfish as Layer delivers strike number 2. Let's go around the infield and outfield tonight for Welland. T. Gallum will be in left field. Gio Morello in center. Brandon Hupe in right. Porcelato and Weiser on the left side of the infield. Brendan Luther and Josh Marqueza on the right side. Euclides Layer gets the start. Robert Mullen catches. Rounds out the starting 9 for the Fish here today. 2-2 Layer has worked it. And he skips it in now, a full count to the leadoff man.
A little bit of a different story with these two clubs. Yesterday, the Maple Leafs put a dent in the Red Sox, 15-2 at Arnold Anderson Stadium last night.
DeSantos waving a miss, strike 3. Layer starts the ball game with a strikeout, 1 down here in the first.
And then the complete opposite for the Welland Jackfish as Uke gets strikeout number 1 on the night. You know, coming off a loss, you like to see a guy on the bump because you need a dominant pitching performance, but it's tough to say the Jackfish didn't get one last night because Teo Ortega was very good at Labatt Park yesterday. 2-1 loss in extra innings for the Jackfish. So, I mean, coming off a loss, Uke's just looking to keep it rolling with this pitching staff that's been really good all season long.
Wave and a miss from Javier, strike 1. Johan Javier, the DH here today for the Maple Leafs. Batting a robust .430 on the season. Layer long stare, now delivers. Off speed, 0-2.
That breaking ball, it starts behind you and then it ends up on the other side of the plate. Most times it's just unhittable. Pitch that definitely has to be down and away off the plate or into lefties.
You can go either way here. He tries to go more outside and get a chase. Does not. 1-2.
Yeah, if he chases one, you just keep going further. See if he keeps going after it. And if he does, take that information into the next at-bat.
1-2 from Layer. Off the end of the bat. Ground ball to first. Marqueza will take it himself. 2 down. One notable name not in the lineup tonight for the Welland Jackfish. Jake Sanford getting the call back up to the Frontier League. The Ottawa Titans started last night. Homer as the leadoff man of the first inning.
You said pitch number 2? Second one he saw?
Yeah, he sent it right out of the ballpark. So Jake Sanford up with the Ottawa Titans. And that's why it's so important to have a deep bench. And, you know, you throw Tyson Gom out in left field, who hasn't seen a ton of action this season, but when he has, his bat's been very, very good. So Gom gets to start in left tonight. Mateo Portolato at third base. I don't think he got one to him last night.
Not that I can remember.
We'll see if he gets one here tonight. 2 down here in the top of the first as Lair delivers outside. 2-0. As Jordan Castaldo, the 3-hole hitter for the Leafs here tonight.
I thought that was a really good spot from you. Just missed it on the outer edge.
Layers 2-0. Good pitch. Does not get the call, and it's 3-0.
Exact same spot, opposite side of the plate.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
Yep.
.30 is inside, and he's walked Castaldo on 4 pitches.
That's not the worst outcome for Jordan Castaldo. Obviously, 2-out walks are the ones that tend to hurt you the most, but you've got an opportunity to bounce back here.
Here's a guy who's had a tremendous start to the season. Marcus Connect batting .380, 6 bombs, 20 ribbies for Connect this season. And he steps in with a man aboard. 2 down here in the first. Player's got a strikeout and a ground out. Looking for the final out as he delivers upstairs 1-0.
He's got to get back in the strike zone here. He's got the velocity that, you know, I hate get me over fastballs, but he's got the velocity to potentially do that. But that's a good spot there.
There it is. Player gets the call in the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, pitch where, you know, he's throwing 5 straight balls. You don't necessarily have to swing until he gets into the strike zone, but it's also a quality strike as well. And then you drop that in.
1-2 now as we take a look. There's Jocks. Always entertaining. Up on the concourse with some fans. Lair trying to strand a man at first. 1-2 pitch coming. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. Uke, a couple of strikeouts here in the top of the first inning. And a clean one for Euclides Lair as we head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless here in Welland on a Saturday night.
College, we head down to the Director of Fun, Ryan Harrison. Take it away.
All right, Fanatics. I'm here with Dana, who hails from Font Hill. A slow John over here. No big deal. It's her first time here at the pond, which means she wants to become one of you. And to do that, she's got to do one thing and one thing only. What is that, Fanatics? And here comes Fisherman Freddie herself. First time down here with the cod. Dana, it's time to pucker up. This is a nice, cold, real fish. We don't fake it around here. Come on, Fanatics, make some noise for Dana. She's about to become one of you crazy, crazy people. Yes. Welcome to the team. You're going to go home with the Niagara College gift pack and an ice cold pond water lager. One more time, Fanatics, for our newest Fanatic of the Pond, Dana.
All right, how does free French fries sound? If Welland Jackfish pitchers strike out 5 or more.
Bottom of the first inning here in Welland. Taking a look at starting pitcher Luis Florentino, who gets the start here for the Maple Leafs tonight in the Rose City. Take a look at the pitching matchup here tonight. One start for Florentino. Went 8 innings. It was an impressive one. Double-digit strikeouts for him in that start. 1.8 whip and a 1.94 opponent average. Euclides Lair not too bad either. 3 starts, we mentioned he's perfect in all 3 of those starts. He's 3-0, 18 innings, a sub-3 ERA, 17 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of 145. Take a look at the Toronto Maple Leafs defensively here tonight. Around the horn, starting in the outfield, Dennis DeBannon gets the start in left. It'll be McKinnis and Connect to round out the outfield. And on the infield, Ryan DeSantos and Rando Moreno will occupy the left side of the infield. Spencer Ross and Jordan Castaldo second and first. Luis Florentino, we mentioned him. He'll get the start for the Maple Leafs tonight. Justin Morrow will do the catching. And Brandon Luther will lead things off to the top of that batting order now. Brendan Luther, who has had an outstanding start to his IBL career, takes outside for ball 1.
Yeah, he's been a leadoff man in the 9 spot.
Yep.
Been setting up the top of the order to do some damage over at least the start of the season.
Look at the Jackfish 1 through 9. Luther, Morello, Weisner, Mullen, Porcelado, Barrett will DH and bat 7th or 6th. Brendan Hupe, Josh Marqueza, and Tyson Gom to round out 1 through 9 offensively for the Welland Jackfish tonight. Talking about a guy who's been hot, Grayson Barrett, another home run, his 5th of the season.
That was a shot. I'm pretty sure that cleared the back fence in right field at Labatt Park last night.
He got all of it to tie the game at 1. Welland ended up losing in extra innings. Majors and walk-off magic this season at Labatt Park.
The Cobra Chickens made their debut last night in London. Obviously, we've got Niagara Lawncocks night coming up. But, just something creative.
Gio Morello on deck. You just saw. Here comes the pitch. It's outside. 2-2. Yeah, they're kind of a Miami Vice-looking uniform that the Majors went with.
Looked like you on 80s night. The suit.
It did, I guess. Can't say I'd be wearing Majors colors up here.
No.
Luther sends one opposite field, base hit. What he does best. And he's aboard here to start the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting. You get yourself to 2 strikes. It's 2-2, and you just shoot it the other way. You got to find a way to shorten up and put a good swing on a ball, and that was pretty hard off the bat to left field to find that hole in between 3rd and short.
Just stayed right with it. Pokes it into left field. And the leadoff man aboard as Gio Morello steps in. First pitch is called strike. Florentino comes sent. Luther bouncing around at first. Morello trying to lay down a bunt. Goes through for a strike. And it's 0-2 to Gio.
Yeah, for a second I thought Luther was going to be off on that pitch. Kind of had that jumping start that we see quite a few of these Jackfish players use at first base, but stayed put.
Pitch is high. Ball 1.
Morello obviously not showing bunt with 2 strikes. I think the only guy that we're going to see do that is Caleb Furastake.
Here comes the offering. Morello, sky-high pop-up, could be in play for DeSantos. The third baseman over, makes the catch in foul territory. Luther had to get back quickly, but does with a slide, 1 away.
Batting 3rd, shortstop number 4.
And of course, with Jake Sanford now out of the lineup, Jackfish have to do some jumbling. And leadoff man all season long through 15 games. Jonah Weisner now to the 3-hole. And his .371 average, 4 bombs and 15 ribbies for Weisner.
And I'm sure, this might be temporary until we see Austin Gom and Boucher make their debuts for the Jackfish. But yeah, you got to get a little bit more offense in that 3-4-5 area with Sanford being gone. So I like the move.
Boucher will be a nice offensive ad. Draft pick of the Atlanta Braves. a couple of seasons ago. Coming from the Quebec Capitals. Excited to get him here and chat with him and meet him and see him play. Luther on a jump. What a throw down by Mara. Got him. And just like that, there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that was a hose right from his knees. Fired it right on target to second. I thought it was a pretty good jump from Luther. Thought he might have had that bag stolen, but you stay on your knees, that quick transfer from Mara. And, I mean, you include a perfect throw right on the money, and it just got him.
Wiesner showing bunt, fouls it off, 0-2. Jackfish trying to throw down a couple of bunts here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, just trying to get the defense moving. I mean, with 2 outs now, I was a little surprised he did that, but again, he does have the speed to get there on a bunt single, so.
Now in an 0-2 hold, though. Florentino trying to cruise through the lineup. Almost hits him inside, or did he get a piece of him? Wiesner back up. And it looked like he was able to avoid that. 1-2. That came inside real quick on Jonah Wiesner. Light breeze to left field tonight. 1-2. Bounces in the dirt. Mara soaks that behind the dish. 2-2.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get a pretty decent at-bat here from Wiesner. Worked it to 2-2 after being down 0-2. Just a battler at the plate.
Luis Florentino set. Offers Wiesner right up the middle. That ball is sinking quickly. It gets by Spencer McInnes in center. Wiesner around second. He's headed to 3. He's getting the wave. Jonah Wiesner on his way home in with a head first slide. Inside the park, home run, Jonah Wiesner. And that's how we start the ball game here tonight in Welland. As soon as McInnes missed it, you had to think it was on his mind, and Ricky Pelletieri, no hesitation to wave Jonah Wiesner all the way around the bases. And the Jackfish have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, if that ball was going to get to the wall or even the track, yeah, you knew he was off to the races. And Ricky with the wave at third, I'm sure Jonah had no thoughts of stopping either. What a heck of a way to get the run scoring started.
Robbie Mullen goes after the first pitch. Called strike 1.
That's a risky dive with 2 outs as well. You want to see him stop there and try and keep the ball in front, keep him to first base.
0-1 to Mullen is inside. How big is that caught stealing now too for the Leafs?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 1-0 instead of 2.
I mean, you make that grab to end the first inning. It's an exceptional catch, or that happens.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and again, game situation kind of dictates it, but in that moment, you've got 2 outs. You take your chances with Mullen, even though you don't really want to, because he's leading the league in home runs. But, you know, sometimes you have to.
Robert Mullen loops one into left field. That'll drop for a base hit. And the lineup will continue through here in the bottom of the first as Mateo Porcelano will step in. Just staying with it on an inside pitch. Mullen able to poke it into left. But in one of the biggest outfields in the IBL, immediately as soon as that ball got by him, Wiesner's speed.
Yeah, that's, Christie Pitts, you could probably get away with that. Christie Pitts, you could probably get away with that. You could probably get a double or a triple out of that if you're an outfielder and be okay with it. But yeah, here, 400 to dead center, gets a little bit deeper into right center, and you're in trouble if you miss that ball on a dive. So again, situation-wise, I'm not sure that if you're the coaching staff of the Maple Leafs, you're too happy that he tried to lay out for it.
1-0 to Mateo Porcelano, IBL Player of the Week last week. He was excellent for the Welland Jackfish with the baseball bat. Took him a couple of games where he used to kind of get into the swing of things, but you knew it was only a matter of time before Mateo Porcelano figured it out.
Yeah, no, I was going right there. Yeah, just that adjustment period, and he's looked really good.
Takes a strike called at the knees, and it's 1-2. Yeah, Porch almost batting at a 400 clip here in his handful of games with Welland this season. 1-2 is downstairs. 2-2 now, the count even. Mullen at first.
And this is where, and I know it's the first inning, there's a ton of time, but this is where you can make mistakes hurt right now if you're Porchelato.
Florentino bounces it in front of the plate, and it's a full count. So kind of similar to Euclides Layer first inning, cruising through the first few batters race, and then now all of a sudden getting into some trouble with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's strange. We've seen that a couple of times over the last couple of weeks.
Porchelato, chopper to first. Jordan Castaldo the play. He'll step on the bag. Inning over. Not before a little excitement happens. Jonah Weisner inside the park home run as the Welland Jackfish on the board first here on a Saturday night in the Rose City. 1-0 Fish as we head to the second.
Collision time. We got Braden and Kevin who are going to smash into each other. Again, presented by Cody's Collision for a chance to win 4 tickets to a future Jackfish game and a Jackfish t-shirt. Here's how this works. When I say go, you run, knock on each other, stay on your feet, win. Go down, well, you don't. They're ready. All right, Fanatics, welcome to Saturday night. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. Well, what do you guys want to do it again? So do I. Kevin, you in? You want to do it again? You want to do it again, Kevin? He does. Let's go. All right, why not? Best 2 out of 3? Sure. Now, Braden's, you get a war scream before you hit him, so he really got into that. All right, good luck, Kevin. On your mark, get set, go. All right, I love it. Congratulations, Braden, you're walking home with a Jackfish t-shirt and 4 tickets to a future game. Fanatics, one more time for our contestants. Aren't they great? We'll be back.
Fans, are you ready to party? Your group, all team, or birthday party can join us here at the pond. Visit fan services at the front gate or wellandjackfish.com/groups for more information about our all-inclusive group tickets, Newark Barge, and VIP Miller Lite Suite. Perfect for any occasion. Group tickets are now on sale for all remaining 2025 Welland Jackfish home games. Leading off the second inning for Toronto, shortstop number 17, Randall Moreno.
Top of the second inning here in Welland. 1-0 Jackfish. Off to an exciting start in this one. An offense that has struggled the last couple of games as Uke delivers, swing and a miss, 0-1 to the shortstop Rando Moreno. An offense that has been so good to start the season, leads every single statistical category you can think of offensively in the IBL. Have the best plus-minus by not even a little bit, Reese. A lot.
Yep.
And a couple of games in a row that Jackfish just haven't been able to put up runs. Now they were able to win one of those, scoring a couple of runs, but coming up on the short end of the stick last night in London, 2-1. But again, the pitching has been there. It's just been the offense that has kind of struggled last couple of games.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably 2 games that pitching has been an, tough to say issue, but the one loss to London, the first loss of the season here.
Shaky from Ben Abram, which
is
we haven't
very
seen.
Uncharacteristic. Yep. And then that game in Barrie, where they're up 7-1. But other than that, it's been phenomenal.
And that was a good Ben Abram start.
It was.
That was 6 innings of 1-run ball, and Uke hits him in a 1-2 count. So the leadoff man's aboard here to start the top of the second. That was a bullpen malfunction in Barrie.
Yeah, you know, it's easy to say that, the Jackfish were due to not score a bunch of runs. And so, I don't know about that, because the way they were operating through the first handful of games, you're like, no, like 5 to 6 a game, the way this offense is built.
Yep.
Now, adjustments having to be made with no Sanford, and you've got a couple of guys coming in within the next couple of weeks, so maybe there's a little bit of a adjustment period there, but there was no reason to think this offense would slow down and only score 1 run in back-to-back games. So, it's just a weird stretch for the offense, but a nice start here. You get the first one in the first inning, and now you work off of that.
See if you can throw up a 0 here. Leadoff man aboard, not off to a great start. Another one inside, 2-0. As the always solid Justin Mara at the batter's box. Always seems to be hovering around that 250 mark. Comes with a little bit of power. Great arm behind the dish. As Lair delivers a strike. And 2-1 to Mara.
I was going to say the normal for catchers, 250 is like you're hitting 350. The way some of the guys hit in at least the big leagues, some in the minor leagues.
Mara, talk about that power. There's a ball sent to deep right field. That's going to be off the base of the wall. Mara is going to turn at first. He's going to be held to a single. It was played well by Brandon Hupe. And first to third goes Moreno. So runners at the corners with nobody away here to start the second for the Leafs.
Yeah, played nicely off the wall by Hupe. Usually when you make that jump, you might be out of position to try and get that ball off the wall, but he was still ready to go. He missed the jump. It bounced right back. And, Mara's not the fastest guy in the world, and that ball comes off the wall pretty quickly. So, nice job to keep him to a single. Double play still intact, and that's what the Jackfish are going to play for. They've got the middle playing for a double play. Corners are in, at least at third base. Of course, you have to hold the runner on at first, but to keep that double play intact, the Jackfish will trade a run for a couple of outs.
Ideal situation would be a pop-up somewhere on the infield.
Absolutely.
Or if Lair can get a strikeout. He's got 2 to start the ball game. That one's a shallow fly ball. That one's into center field. Drifting in is Gio Morello. He makes the catch. Here comes the throw home. And not opting to tag is Moreno, so he'll stay put at third. Good job by Morello, and it's a hard one to tag on when you got the outfielder running in to make that grab.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you've got the outfielder camped and they're just waiting and waiting for the ball. But yeah, Morello's at full speed. He's in a full sprint to try and make that catch. All of his momentum is moving towards home plate, so that throw was a little bit off. It was more up the third base line, but still it was cut off, and you still can't take that chance. It's early in the ball game. You're still 90 feet away from scoring a run, so kind of had to hold in that situation.
Here is Tabe Hanning, wave and a miss, 0-1. See if Lair can get back to that strikeout stuff he was so good with in the first inning. Attacking the strike zone early. Runners remained at the corners, now 1 away. Ground ball away from getting out of the inning. Lair's offering, another shallow pop fly. That one to the shortstop area. Weisner makes the catch on the transfer. He should be out. He is. 1 run will score. Tagging from third is Moreno to come home and tie the game, but Weisner made the grab on the transfer, so 2 will be away.
Second baseman number 2, Spencer.
Yeah, that's a tough one. First of all, heck of a play to go back and get it for Weisner. I thought that could have been Gom's ball all day, but it was still even too shallow for him. And I don't even think, didn't even look like Moreno was going to tag on that ball until he saw it come loose. So that's a tough one. Heck of a play, but on the transfer, unfortunately, cost them a run.
So tied at 1. Toronto answers right back as Lair deals strike 1. 9-hole hitter, Spencer Ross, the second baseman. Looking to flip it back over to the top of the lineup. Ryan DeSantos. 1-1.
That was a really good spot to try and get yourself up 0-2. That combination of that fastball and then the slider that starts behind you and finishes in the strike zone. Just a lethal combo.
Wave and a miss from Ross, and it's 1-2.
And here you can really do whatever you want. You've got him lunging out in front of that breaking ball. If you want to go hard in, Could easily see him getting a K here, or you can go back to the soft stuff.
Here comes the offering, swing and a miss, strike 3. Layer gets him to end the second inning. So the Maple Leafs do answer back with 1. We're tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second as Layer gets his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Tune in to Welland Jackfish TV on YouTube. We'll be back for the bottom of the second.
Want to wear the fish? Visit the new tackle box on the first base side of the stadium or online at shop.wellandjackfish.com for all your fanatic needs. Leading off the second inning for the Jackfish, designated hitter number 24, Grayson Barrett.
So here's Grayson Barrett to lead off the second inning for the Welland Jackfish. Barrett sits 3rd in IBL home runs at the moment with 5. Kind of starting to find that consistency from Grace. Last year we saw when he was on, he was so good. Didn't get regular playing time though, and kind of had to lock in when he was put into the ball game. And there goes the bullpen scrambling down the left field line. Everybody getting out of the way. It's like Bench was down there. Is that Jack Seward as well?
Ben Abram went for
Ben
it.
Abram, yeah.
That was awesome.
Every man for himself. But now Grayson Barrett, more of a consistent role. Middle of this lineup. He's been excellent. 0-1. Barrett with another life. Florentino kicks and deals. Barrett right back up the middle, in on his hands. Bobbled by Moreno, but he gets back and throws out a first in time. 1 away.
Right fielder.
Been a lot of solid contact so far for these Jackfish hitters through an inning and a third. I know they've only got 1 run to show for it, but they're putting really good swings on the baseball here against Florentino. Saw it in the inside the park homer for Weisner. A couple of singles by Luther and Mullen. They're getting a good look at the Maple Leafs right-handers early on.
Florentino's offering is in there for strike 1. Brandon Hupe now into the batter's box. Good breaking ball. Bends back in on the inside corner. 0-2.
That's a pitch where you see it coming up. You hope it gets right into the wheelhouse for some power, and then it just drops in, and you're like a little bit too late to pull the trigger.
Hupe swinging on the 0-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Ross on to first in time. Quickly 2 down.
There's me acting like we have a camera in here showing how you're hitting, where you pause. We do have a camera in here.
That's how we do it.
Us, but it's just that breaking ball that starts shoulders to letters. You're hoping it lands somewhere around your midsection for a nice power swing, and then all of a sudden it drops to around the belt area / knee area, and you're too late to pull the trigger on a pitch in that location.
Here's Big Ma's Josh Marqueza. He's looking to get going. offensively. Batting 160 on the season. 1 home run for Marqueza. 2-0. Now to Josh as he's in the driver's seat. Possesses a lot of power when he makes contact with the baseball. 2-0. That was a big power swing, and he comes up empty, 2-1.
Looking for some more 2-out magic from this Jackfish offense.
2-1 to Marqueza. Called for strike 2, looked low, and it's 2-2.
Just got to refocus. Not a favorable call, but still in the at-bat.
Florentino's 2-2. Marqueza sends one to right field, right at Marcus Connect, who comes in to make the catch. So a line drive from Josh Marqueza ends in an F9, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Maple Leafs. We head to the third, tied at 1s in Welland.
Who's ready with our contestants this evening?
All right, Fanatics, we got Malin and Chloe here for the Empty Bellies Dizzy Bat Race. For a chance to win $25 to Empty Bellies, here's how this works. When I say go, head to bat, bat to 4, spin around till I say stop at what point. Try to hit the ball off the tee. First contestant to do so wins the gift card. All right, Fanatics, I need you again. It's Saturday night at the pond. A few pond waters have been drank. Make some noise for our contestants. On your mark, get set, go. Round and round and round they go. She's just a kid, Shank. She's just a kid. Who are you like? Come on, people. Need some encouragement out here. She said she had a lot of milk this morning, so you might be in trouble here. Yeah? Huh? Keep going. Ruthless. Okay, keep going, girls. Keep going. Faster, 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 faster. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, yeah. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Congratulations. We're here walking around with $20 to Empty Bellies. Fans, one more time for our contestants. We will be back.
Fans, a reminder, the park is a non-smoking facility. Smoking and vaping are not allowed anywhere within the stands or concourse in accordance with provincial and municipal regulations. Anyone caught smoking inside the venue may be subject to fines and removal from the facility without refund. Leading off the third inning for the Maple Leafs, third baseman Ryan Dos Santos.
Ryan DeSantos leads things off here in the top half of the third inning, or as Rod Mahood would say, Ryan Dos Santos.
That was awesome. Put a little extra flavor on that.
DeSantos on the ground to Luther. He's got it on to first. Had to hurry it up in time by a half a step. One away. Almost too casual, Luther, but nonetheless gets it there in time.
Yeah, DeSantos thought he got there. Just half a step. The throw beat him. That's the luxury of playing second base, though. Don't got that long throw. It's just got to be short and sweet over to first base.
Luther has been so good defensively this season. I mean, of all the acquisitions and pickups you look that this team made over the offseason, I think Brandon Luther has to be my favorite. The way he plays the game, the way he plays defense, the way he swings the bat. Great personality. I mean, complete package of a ball player.
So
that one to third. There's a ball for Mateo Porcelato to show off the arm in time. Plenty of it. 2 down.
Yeah. No, Luther understands his role. He understands that, he's leading off today, of course, but he was the number 9 hitter to start the year and for the number of games until Sanford left. And, understanding that I have a job to do, and it's not to hit home runs. It's not to hit for power. It's to find a way to get on base to set things up for the guys that do have a ton of power and can hit it over the fence. And at second base, just the plays that he makes, you sometimes have your jaw drop from the plays that he makes. So no, just a complete player that understands his role.
I wish we were able to see Tyler Dupuis and Brendan Luther on the same infield up the middle, because not a baseball on the planet would get through.
Yeah, that'd be a treat.
But yeah, he's coming and he's done a fabulous job. Ball one called, 1-1 the count. Jordan Castaldo, first baseman in. That one is in the zone, 1-2. So Lair looking for his fourth punch out tonight.
Yeah, I think Castaldo might have thought that was in the same spot.
And you probably thought he should have had the call on the ball one call.
Yep. yeah, you're right.
He gets it both ways. 1-2 on the way from Uke. Castaldo to center field, quickly slicing away from Gio Morello with a dive. Oh my! Gio Morello, Superman in center. 2 down here in the third. What a grab by Gio. And that'll end the inning here in the third. What a catch by Gio Morello in center field. We'll have to take another look at that one. Gorgeous from Gio to end it. We'll head to the bottom half of the third, 1-1 here in Welland.
Seventh inning tonight.
T. Gom will lead things off here in the third. T. Gom will lead things off here in the third. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful night for ball on first day of summer. 9-1-2 due up for the Fish. Alec Murray, Reese Dumani with you tonight. And all season long, for that matter. As Gom, big wave and a miss, 0-1.
Yeah, now that I had my vacation, that's out of the way.
Yeah. You're stuck with us the rest of the year.
Oh, that's all right.
By the way, to all of our fellow broadcasters, it is not Spencer Tanga anymore. Tanga got the boot. We still love him here in Welland, but Spence no longer with us. It is Reese now. 1-1 on the way. Gom, kind of a uneasy swing, and it's 1-2.
We are all NC alum. We do share that.
Yep. Lots of that up in this broadcast booth here in Welland. 1-2 on the way is outside.
Yeah, no, like I said, the first time I heard that, I go, did I get canned already? Just because I went on vacation?
Yeah, 2 games in. You missed 2 games. You're gone. 2-2 to Tyson Gom. Strike 3 called to Gom, and he's not happy with that call. 1 away. Multiple players tonight have not been happy with the strike zone thus far in this ball game, both ways. And I think Gom thought that was inside.
Yeah, It was close. I think with 2 strikes, a little bit too close to take. You could see him. Obviously, he wasn't mouthing to himself. He was talking to the home plate umpire, but he didn't look back at him. He didn't stop. Sometimes you'll see a guy walking back to the dugout still talking, and then umpires will overreact and throw them out of the game. But good job on both sides. He vented. He let out some frustration. Umpire let him talk. And
comes inside to Luther, 2-0.
Going to get the offense started again. Nice sharp single in the first. Yeah, maybe all but one ball, or all but one hit so far. Wasn't hard hit, and even Mullins, I thought, was pretty good off of the bat.
2-0 to Luther, swinging away. Fly ball to center field. McInnes will camp under it and make the grab. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. So both these pitchers putting together some quick innings here.
11,
And that'll bring in Gio Morello, who made an exceptional catch in the top half of the inning. What a grab.
He flew. He flew to get that ball. It wasn't a 50-50, maybe didn't need to dive, but did just to make it look nice,
Fully
make it look good on
outstretched.
Jackfish TV, but he flew through the air to catch that baseball.
So 2 down, here's Morello. Big swing and a miss, 0-1.
What a flex it would be if he homered here.
Magic in the top half, magic in the bottom half. Let's see.
I can't believe I just said flex.
It's 2025. Here we are, Stan Wolk on the Jackfish broadcast. That is not a strike, and it's 0-2.
Exact same reaction as Gom.
Yeah, this hasn't been a good zone to start here today. He tells Gio to get right back in the box.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that.
Yeah. So Morello in an 0-2 hole now has to work out of it. Wave and a miss, strike 3, and he's going to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. Not a great zone here to start this one as Morello continuing to toss.
Morello's got to stop.
Yeah, he's going to get tossed into this ball game.
Outside of the infield, down towards home plate. First team across the line wins $25 in minor blows. Fanax, I need you again. Are you ready? Jeez. I'll ask again. Are you ready? On your mark. Get set, go, go, go! They're off, here we go. I gotta run now. Look at those tighty ladies go. That's the fastest pair of lady tighties I've ever seen. The curve is what makes the difference. Down they go, here they come. And it's not even close. Oh, down they go. Congratulations, Tom White. And Kyle, you're up to only $12 to minor brothers. Are you guys okay? There's no broken bones, right? They signed waivers, we're good. We'll see you next time.
Fan single game tickets are on sale for all remaining 2025 Welland Jackfish home games. Don't miss a second of the show and head to wellandjackfish.com/ticks to purchase. Leading off the 4th inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs, right fielder Marcus Connect.
Already the top of the 4th inning here in Welland. Chugging right along here in the Rose City. 1-1 between the Leafs and Fish. 4, 5, 6 for the Leafs, 2 up in the top half of the inning. Connect, Moreno, and Mara. As the first pitch is called, strike to Connect. Layer, 3 punch outs. Sorry, Reese.
No, you're good. I just want to say Gio is still in the game.
Yep.
He got the stop sign from home plate umpire Adam Sim, but he is still in the game. Spirited conversation with the home plate umpire after that strike 2 was called on Gio.
Wave and a miss, Connect, strike 3, 4th K of the night for Uke. And the leadoff man is retired.
And on all 4 Ks, it's been quick. It's been, hasn't been 3 pitches every time, but it's been it's been fairly quick. Uke has done a nice job of limiting his pitches. Usually, the more Ks you rack up, you can get into pitch count trouble, but we're seeing maybe 4, 5 at the most on all of the Ks for Uke.
Layers offering, cutting outside away from the batter, wave and a miss, 0-1.
Saw Moreno check with the home plate umpire to see if that would have been a strike anyways.
0-1 on the way. Moreno, bouncer to second. Luther, he's got it in time. 2 down.
Catcher Justin
Both teams
Mara.
with long nights yesterday. Obviously, Toronto putting up 15 runs in Brantford. Jackfish going to extra innings. Again, we'll knock on some wood here. We already have. But each team being aggressive in the box. Each pitcher being aggressive on the mound. Doing a nice job of controlling the strike zone here into the 4th inning.
So quickly 2 away for Uke. Strike 1 called. And Mara was not happy.
We'll have
Mara
a conversation when he comes back out.
Yeah, I was going to say Mara the catcher tonight. Now he'll swing away, flare one off into left field. That'll drop in for a base hit in front of Gom. So Mara is aboard, and that'll continue the inning for the Leafs. And Spencer McInnes, center fielder, now gets a shot.
Center fielder Spencer McInnes.
That's a single each way now for Mara. He drove one off the wall that got a nice bounce right back to Hupe. And he fired into second quickly, and then he bloops one into left there. So Mara having a nice day at the plate to start.
Chopper up the middle, going to be a tough play for Wisner. He's got it in stride on time to first to retire the side. Uke throwing up a gem here through 4 innings. 1-1, we're tied as we head to the bottom half of the 4th here in the Rose City.
Ryan? Leading off the 4th inning for your Welland Jackfish, the shortstop, number 4, Jonah Wisner.
Jonah Wisner to lead off the bottom of the 4th here in Welland. An exciting 1-for-1 for Jonah to start tonight. Inside the park home run for Wisner, his 5th home run of the season, officially. Meat of the order for the Fish due up as Florentino deals outside for ball 1. Wisner off the end of the bat. That one's going to get into left field, base hit. So Wisner is aboard to lead off the 4th inning for the Fish.
Your catcher.
That was a nice poke. It wasn't an ideal pitch to swing at in that count, but still got enough of it to get it just past the third baseman, DeSantos, who I thought had a really good shot to get that baseball just because it wasn't hit that hard. But it just snuck through the left side for his 2nd hit of the day. Not all 100 off the bat, but if they get the job done, nobody cares.
Mullen takes a called strike one. Robbie singled back in the first. He's 1 for 1 tonight. IBL home run leader with 8. That's a wild pitch to the backstop, uncorked by Florentino. And into scoring position is Wisner. That sun is peeking back out here, Reese. Just over to the left, causing some shadows in the outfield and infield.
Yeah, clouds have gone away since probably the second, third inning or so. Turning into a very nice night.
1-1 to Robbie Mullen. Wave and a miss, and it's 1-2.
The way things are going here, you might have to wait for fireworks because it'll still be daylight.
Every time we have fireworks after a game, it always flies. So that's why I'm not worried about jinxing it here tonight. Almost never fails. 1-2 to Mullen is high.
Maple Leafs do have action in the pen. It's Greg Carrington throwing. Number 16.
Florentino comes set 2-2 on the way outside, and it's a full count. Lots of action tonight in the IBL. 8 of 9 teams are in action. Go through that here in a moment. 3-2 to Mullen. Wisner lead off second. Here comes the payoff. Same result, that's a base hit. And Ricky Pilatari's going to throw up the stop sign with nobody out. Runners at the corners here to start the bottom of the fourth for Welland. And here comes Mateo Porcelato.
Yeah, Wisner had to hold up for a second just to make sure the ball did get through. Yeah, that's an automatic stop sign at third base. So at the corners now, Porcelato with nobody out. Jackfish look to retake the lead and potentially put up a crooked number here in the fourth.
Porch and his .395 batting average this season. London, the only team not in action tonight around the IBL. Here comes the pitch. Porch, bouncer to first base. It's a foul ball called by the umpire down there. It'll be 0-1, and Porcelato will get a second life here. Hamilton is in Kitchener. That one just underway at Jack Couch Park, the launching pad over in Kitchener. And 2 other games that are also just about to get underway. Barry's in Chatham-Kent for a 3-game series. Not something you see in the IBL ever, but there it is. Porcelato on the ground to second. Ross flip to short, back to first. In time, they get the double play, but Wisner will come across to score. So Porcelato grounds into a double play, 2 away, but the run does score, and the Jackfish retake the lead.
Designated hitter number
Yeah, you hate to make 2 outs on 1 ground ball, but again, you got a job done. You wanted to get that runner in from third base, and he got it done. You put a ball on the ground, you never know what can happen. And you won't get yourself an RBI, but still did a job for the team.
Other game that is an interesting watch around the IBL tonight. 7:30 start time as Barrett fights one off. That one slicing away from the center fielder. Deep center field up against the wall, making a running grab is Spencer McInnes to retire the side. So a nice grab by McInnes out at center to end the inning. To the 5th we go. Jackfish back on top, 2-1 here in Welland.
Kersey Bear Group at IG Wealth Management. We head back down, we throw it back down to the Director of Fun.
Oh, me, yeah, that's me. All right. You guys ready? This is a fun one. Who said that? All right, we got Kyle and Hayden versus Carson and Danny. Here's how this works. When I say go, you take off, grab a fish, bring it back, drop it in the bucket. Once the third one is captured, you bring it back. First team across the line wins $25 to Boston Pizza. Courtesy of the Kersey Bear Group at IG Wealth Management. My man right up there. Are you guys ready? Flex, are you ready? All right, I want you to cheer lots for that one. On your mark, get set, go! They're off. Speedboats, I tell you, speedboats. Wow. Watch out. Oh, no. It's a no-wake zone, Kyle. It's a no-wake zone. This is his first time on the pond. It's not his fault. All right, two down. Here we go. Last one. You got to cross the line here. Make some noise, Fanatics. And sideways, but they made it. Congratulations, Kyle and Hayden. You're up at home with $25 to Boston Pizza. Fanatics will be back for more.
There's always more at the pond. Snag a foul ball tonight. Visit us at Fan Services located at the front gate and redeem your foul ball for a brand new Jackfish logo baseball. Perfect for post-game autographs. Leading off the fifth inning for the Leafs. Left fielder, Dennis.
This game, an hour old, and we're in the top of the fifth inning. Alec Murray, Reese Dumani, thanks for joining us tonight on Welland Jackfish TV. Dennis Day Banning will lead things off for the Maple Leafs. Good chat with Dennis pregame in the Leafs dugout down there where we get in the lineup. He likes my shoes. He's a big
he
fan.
loves them.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
He's definitely buying a pair tomorrow.
100%.
Yep.
Layer delivers outside, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, we followed him essentially down to the dugout, watching us try and work our way through the crowds at the concession stand. It's always an adventure.
Always, especially for the visiting team.
Yeah.
Walk all the way around. If you've ever played at Welland Stadium, you know that walk.
Because I'm pretty sure the Jackfish probably don't want them going through that door.
Yeah,
by
no,
their dugout.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Some of those walks a little tougher than others, depending on the game situation,
Yep.
the fans and attendance and whatnot. 2-2. Layer looking for strikeout number 5. Just missed, if it did, on the outside part of the plate, and it's a full count.
Yeah, that was a good call. I thought it was off, but a perfect spot for that pitch.
Mullen tried to frame it back in. Layer will try again. Payoff pitch on the way. That one is sent to center field. Gio Morello racing back. He's camped under it to make the running grab. One away.
That's back-to-back fly balls. One to end the fourth inning, and then the first one here to start the fifth. Both have been tagged.
Ball's carrying well tonight.
It is. It is.
It's Grayson Barrett's little flare in the bottom half of last inning that carried all the way up against the wall in center field. It was Spencer McInnes making a nice grab. That wind blowing out to dead center now, Reese. Wow.
Okay.
Ball 1 to Spencer Ross. Looked right there, middle. That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
And this is no disrespect to the center fielder for the Maple Leafs today, Spencer McInnes, but you can tell they play in a small outfield.
Yeah.
The way he plays his outfield, you can tell. I think he thought that hit him. But you can tell they play in a smaller outfield where Gio, his route efficiency is a lot better than McInnes, where McInnes doesn't have to cover a lot of ground at Christie Pitts. No outfielder does.
Yeah.
So it has been a little bit of an adjustment here for the Maple Leafs in the outfield to start this game, and you're seeing that.
Especially when the wind's swirling. And usually in Welland, too, it is always windy, right? You're always going to get some type of a breeze. Very rarely going to have a day that is just dead heat, right? It's always going to be a little bit of a breeze, especially night games. 2-2 from Layer bounces in, and it's another full count. But you're exactly right. It's one of the biggest outfields in the IBL, right? So it's an adjustment for sure. And Gio Morello gets the luxury of playing here more than half of his games, right? So beneficial to him. He's also been here for quite some time, right? So he's gotten used to that outfield as well. That one hits him on a 3-2 pitch.
Fans, your attention, please. 2 motorcycles are parked by the front gate.
And
please move your
Spencer
motorbikes
Rossel
immediately.
jogged down to
2
first base on a
motorcycles
3-2
parked near the front
hit by
compound
pitch.
gate.
So 1 out,
Please
1 on for the
move
Leafs
them
to
before
turn it back over to the
Thank
top of the
you.
lineup.
Now batting
Ryan DeSantos.
for the Leafs.
There's a little
Third
bit of extra
baseman,
flair on
Ryan
that bat
Dos
flip
Santos.
after the hit by pitch. Thought he got hit earlier in the at-bat. Thought it caught his jersey, but same result, just hurt a little bit more.
First pitch is called a ball to DeSantos, 1-0. Lair has been efficient here tonight. Uke now working with a man aboard as he pumps in strike 1. I was going to say that other IBL game under tonight, 7:30 first pitch. Brantford Red Sox and Guelph Royals, and team with a team's number. That's Brantford with Guelph's number this season, 2-0.
Yeah, 2 out of their 3 wins this season against the Guelph Royals.
At one point they were 2-0 or 2-10, I believe, or 2-11, and both those wins were against Guelph. 2-1 on the way. That one sent to center field. High drive to center field. Gio Morello back up against the wall, makes the grab, and another fantastic catch for Gio Morello out in center field. 2 down.
Yeah, his routes on all of these baseballs have been really good, and we don't have the advanced metrics that Major League Baseball does where we can show you the wrong step. He gets a good first step off of the bat, so making these plays look a lot easier than they actually are.
Here's John Javier. Oh for 2 tonight for Javier. 0-1 from Lair, wave and a miss, and it's 0-2.
He was way out in front of that baseball, obviously expecting the hard stuff from Uke, but wasn't even close to that breaking ball.
Looking to leave Castaldo on deck. Here comes the pitch, wave and a miss, strike 3. Number 5 for Uke tonight.
Yes, indeed.
And another clean inning for Lair. 2-1 Fish as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Locations. Once again, the 2 motorcycles. Street in Welland. Join the Fanatics every road game at tailgates as the official road game viewing location during the 2025 season. Leading off the 5th inning for the Fish.
Bottom of the 5th.
Fielder,
Welcome inside
21,
Welland Stadium. If you're just
Brandon
joining us, thanks for joining us
Yuppe.
on Welland Jackfish TV. I'm Alec Murray. He's Reese Dumani with you all season long on YouTube. 2-1 Jackfish lead as Brandon Yuppe will lead things off for the Fish. Luis Florentino back out of the bump for the Maple Leafs as he deals ball 1.
The control for Florentino has been really good in this game. Looking at his stats, and I know numbers only tell half the story, but 9 walks in 8 innings, you're thinking, okay, let's watch the control here. Let's see if he's around or in the strike zone often, and he has been. So that's a situation where the numbers are completely wrong. If you're just going off of that, you might look not smart. That's my nice way of saying it. So
I like it.
He's been around the zone despite what everything says.
1-1 to Hupe. Florentino delivers downstairs.
Not one Jackfish hitter has walked in the game.
Bouncing in there, 3-1 now to Hupe.
As I say this, he's going to walk someone. Watch
I was
this.
going to say, he's starting to lose his control a little bit, and that bullpen has been active for the Leafs the last couple of innings.
Sorry, Maple Leafs fans, if anyone's out there. I probably just jinxed you, but works in our favor.
High and tight, ball 4, and he does walk him. Walking the leadoff man, probably the number one thing you never want to do, and Hupe's aboard here to start the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, either walking someone to start an inning or with 2 outs. 2 worst times. I kind of sound like a broken record. I've said that a few times, I know, but if you can limit those, you're going to have success way more times than not. And that ERA is just going to get lower and lower. But here, the Jackfish again with the leadoff man on. That's back-to-back innings for them. Let's see if they can do something with it. Got to run last inning.
Here's Big Moz in for the second time tonight. Flew out to right field. That was back to end the second inning. Pickoff attempt over to first. Back in safely is Hupe. Not really a massive lead for Hupe either. Back in pretty easily. Wave and a miss from Marqueza. Counts even.
He hit the ball hard in his first at bat, lined out to right field.
All over that pitch, fouls it back, 1-2.
Yeah, a couple of good swings from the first baseman for the Jackfish tonight. Curious with 2 strikes if they put Hupe in motion. Still not a big lead, though.
1-2 to Marqueza. He sends one in the air to center field. Dropping quickly. It's going to drop in. Base hit Marqueza. 2 on and nobody out, and another blunder out in center.
Yeah, I wonder if Jonah Weisner's first inning inside the park home run
made him hesitate.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. He wanted to dive, but he also understood, like, last time I did that, I got an inside the park home run. And obviously, not to say Marqueza's slow, but he doesn't have speed like Weisner does. So that's when you get caught in between. You're like, maybe I give up 1 run, but we're not seeing an inside the parker. Try and get an out here where our pitcher hasn't commanded the zone as well as he had in the first 4 innings. But yeah, just caught in between and luckily able to keep it in front. But just a little bit of doubt from that first inning probably played a factor there.
So mound visit here. Luis Florentino in a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the 5th. Home plate umpire is going to have to come break up this meeting on the mound. Florentino's going to remain in. Greg Carrington continues to throw for the Leafs, or has already warmed up down that line.
Got a left-hander throwing now, but he's got a sweater on, so don't have a number for you right now. Leafs expecting the bunt here.
Yeah, infield's in here. It's going to come. Gom's going to pull off. Back pick to second base. Got his body in front of it. Moreno, good play. It's also a risky play if you're Toronto to throw down there and try to back pick the runner at second. Ball's into center field. Hupe's home.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You have to be sure. Those are those plays where it can hurt you if it goes wrong, so you have to be 100% sure you're going to get them.
1-0 on the way. Gom is going to send one back to the mound. It's going to be caught and almost thrown into center field by Florentino. Oh boy. So Gom can't execute the bunt. Good job by Luis Florentino off the mound. And again, almost the Leafs throwing the ball around. That one would have soared into right center.
Yeah, if you're a base runner and you know a bunt's coming, you got to make sure it's down. And Hupe got caught way too far off of second base. And again, luckily, the throw was off target. But yeah, on the other side, for Florentino, he just spun and fired. Didn't set his feet. If he sets his feet and takes a look for a second, Hupe's out.
I'm always amazed at pitchers' ability to throw.
That was awesome.
It's Welland for you. Back to my point. I said I'm always amazed that pitchers who can throw 90 miles an hour home in a small box and hit the strike zone. But when it comes to having to throw to a base or anything, they can't seem to hit the target. Nobody caught by the shortstop Moreno. 2 down.
Yeah, it is strange because, you know, it's a little bit of a different arm angle, but it's not by much. You know, there you saw the sidearm throw, so that is different, but I don't know if it's the uneven ground of the mound when you get off and try and field a ground ball and then throw it. I'm just, again, we've gone through my Grand Slam story and why I don't pitch anymore, but for whatever reason, if it's just because it's a different arm angle, if maybe you lose your footing because of the mound, I don't know. It is strange.
Pitches outside of Morelos, so looked like a promising inning at first. For Welland has been shut down here by Luis Florentino. Quickly 2 away now, and much different look. You're going to need a base hit from Gio Morello. 2-0 to Morello.
You know, Gio's going to be locked in on anything close to the plate. I think that's the adjustment for him. He got called on a strike that looked like it was off the inside part of the plate and was upset about it.
Morello fouls one back, 2-1.
See if he adjusts here. Anything a little bit closer, he goes after. It's that in-game adjustment that hitters make. Well, one of them.
Gio's 0 for 2 tonight. Morello sends one to center field. This one is slicing away from McInnes, who's back up against the wall. He made the catch. Spencer McInnes. Great grab out in center field as he makes up for that error earlier on in the inning, and he gets out of it. That looks like it'll be it for Luis Florentino. He gets the handshake off the bump. Excellent outing for the Maple Leaf starter. As we head to the top of the 6th, 2-1 Fish in Welland.
Fastest grounds crew tonight, different crew, but they're still the fastest. Fans, once again, the IBL's fastest grounds crew. Happy birthday tonight to Kaylee. Happy 10th birthday, Kaylee. Miss Danny Girardi, happy birthday. Emilio Mendez, happy birthday. Jody Hutton, rocking it, happy birthday. Alex, happy birthday to you as well. And as always, it's his birthday every night. Happy birthday to the one and only, the Maratonian, Gary Miato. Happy birthday, Gary. Happy birthday to everybody in attendance tonight. Fans, are you ready to party? Your group, ball team, or birthday party can join us at the pond. Visit fan services at the front gate or wellandjackfish.com/groups for more information about our all-inclusive group tickets, Newark Barge and VIP Miller Lite Suite. Perfect for any occasion. Group tickets are now on sale for all remaining 2025 Welland Jackfish home games.
He went yesterday.
Leading off the 6th inning for Toronto. First baseman, Jordan Castaldo.
Top half of the inning. Welcome back to the ballpark. Still a beautiful night in Welland. Ben Abram takes over for Euclides Lair. And the only rationale reasoning we have for that, Reese, is 5 days off. Want to get everybody a little bit of work here before that stretch of days. So Abram comes out of the bullpen tonight. So you get Lair 5 strong innings from Uke, 5 strikeouts. Scattered a few hits as well, but all in all, great outing from Lair, only giving up that 1 run. Abram inside 2-0. Abram's last start was very, very good. Bouncing back from that tough one a couple of weeks ago. It was in Barrie. The rare road start for Abram. Now back at home. That one is sent high and deep in the air to straightaway center field. Morello is back, looking up, and that ball is gone. Jordan Castaldo greets Ben Abram with a bomb to dead center. And once again, we're tied. You knew it off the crack of the bat. He got all of that
Right
baseball.
fielder, Marcus Connect.
And a rude entrance for Ben Abram here tonight.
Yeah, the way the ball's been flying, especially from anywhere from right center to left center, it's been moving, and it had enough juice off the bat. You could hear it. And, that's a 2-0 swing that a lot of hitters take and don't normally hit 410-ish feet or so, but Castaldo did. Expecting something right down Main Street, and he met it.
That was a bomb. Gio Morello knew it too. He just kind of drifted back and watched that one soar over the wall. Here comes the 0-1 to Connect. Wave and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Marcus Connect. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts tonight. Connect, always known as a free swinger, but he's had a great start to the season, especially power-wise.
It's a nice combo for the Maple Leafs in the middle of their lineup, Castaldo and Connect.
0-2 from Abram. On the way. Strike 3 called. Connect punched out. He doesn't like it. He's got something to say to the home plate umpire as he walks off. His 3rd time down on strikes here tonight.
Shortstop Randall Moreno.
I thought Mullen did give it a little bit of help, but again, you're in a situation, you've seen guys on both sides maybe having some issues with the strike zone. So for me as a hitter, you have to start looking a ball or two off the plate because you never know. We've seen it called, but we haven't seen it called. So there has been a little bit of inconsistency. But, again, that's the in-game adjustment that we talked about with Gio last inning, where you have to understand that it could be called. You know it shouldn't be, but it could be. So you have to adjust throughout the game and do a better job protecting with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I mean, you're in now the top of the 6th, Reese. And
got enough information.
Exactly.
Yep.
That one's fouled off. Back up top over us. And it's 0-2.
You know what? Good on the pitchers for going to those spots. Purposely throwing it 1-2 balls off the plate, understanding that it's not going to be a strike, or on the plate, I should say, but it has the chance to be called a strike.
Abram rocks into his 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Big Ben here after the home run given up. 2 down. So he comes right back after surrendering the home run to Castaldo and punches out Connect and Moreno.
Catcher Justin Mara.
Yeah, this is the Ben Abram we love to see for sure, that home run. I mean, you've got power against Castaldo, so you know it could go either way. But Abram done a nice job bouncing back with a couple of Ks. Quickly refocused after that ball left.
Abrams offering. Big cut and a miss from Justin Mara. Abrams 0-1 on the way to Mara. Great breaking ball, catches the outside part of the plate. 0-2. So Abrams just attacked the strike zone here now. Past 3 batters. Mara now in the hole. Abram looking to punch out the side. Here comes the 0-2. Thought about it, holds up. And it's 1-2 now to Mara.
That's a perfect placement for that pitch. Tried to go to the back foot. Well, not tried. He did go to the back foot. But just didn't get the swing and miss. So he has a conversation with Mullen. 2 catchers exchanging some words. All pleasant, though.
Abrams delivery. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Big Ben K's the side. In the 6th, we head to the bottom half of the inning. 2-2, Leafs tied up on a Castaldo bomb. Jackfish looking to get back here in the bottom of the 6th.
Visit Wings Up Welland, 200 Fitch Street, or online at wingsup.com. And join the Fish again on Thursday, June 26th, this upcoming Thursday, for Educator Appreciation Night. School's Out Bash. Present your school ID at the ticket window for half-price tickets. Thursday is also Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy $5 tall boys of pond water lager and slippery fish until the end of the 3rd inning. For tickets, visit wellandjackfish.com/tickets. Leading off the 6th inning for your Jackfish. Shortstop, number 4, Jonah Weisner.
Bottom of the 6th here in Welland. 2-2 now. Tie ball game. Another low-scoring affair for the Welland Jackfish. Jonah Weisner will lead off for the Fish against the new pitcher into the ball game for the Maple Leafs, Nathan Kura.
Maple Leafs left-hander making appearance number 3 on the season. He's thrown in 6 innings. ERA is 7.5. It'll be less velocity, but better location.
Weisner High chopper, gets by the pitcher. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. Bare hands on to first, not in time. Ross couldn't get it there. Weisner infield single to lead it off here in the 6th. Well, his only option was to barehand that baseball. He almost made a great play.
Yeah, that would have made the highlight reel for sure. Weisner just too much speed to try and get that with the glove. So the Jackfish shortstop now 3 for 3. Home run and 2 singles. Having himself a day. And now you go righty-lefty with Mullen at the plate. I'm sure he's going to look to do damage after the Leafs tied the game in the top half of the inning.
Mullen takes ball 1. Yeah, Robbie's had a nice night at the dish. Pair of base hits to left field. Pickoff attempt. Weisner easily back in. Of course, with the lefty on the mound, be a little extra caution.
Yeah, and there it didn't look like he had any thoughts of going anywhere, at least at this point. You let Mullen swing away.
Off for second is Weisner. Excellent jump. Throw down is into center field, but good read by the shortstop as Moreno able to get there. And Weisner will stay at second, but he swipes a bag and is in a scoring position.
Yeah, so we're going to ignore everything I say from now on. Again, with a guy like Mullen at the plate, you don't necessarily want to run into outs, but also understanding that Weisner does have the speed, so I like the move, and now you've got a 2-0 count.
Big looping breaking ball stays high. 3-0 to Mullen. Tonight's attendance, 2,203. I mean, breaking attendance throughout the first 5 home games of the season as well, and just tremendous attendance numbers this season. Once again, here at the pond.
Can smell something in the water here in Welland. Again, we talk about it, that stretch that the Jackfish are on where it seemed like every game they were scoring 10 runs. It feels like this is a special team right now, and we're witnessing something pretty cool.
3-1 to Mullen. Ball 4. So Robbie takes a walk. And Mateo Porcelato, 2 on and nobody out, has a chance to do some damage here and get the Fish back to lead as the bullpen starts to stir for the Maple Leafs.
Third baseman, number 10.
Last time Porcelato was up to the plate, had a couple men on as well. Drove in a run. Doesn't get credit for the RBI, of course, but grounded into a double play.
Weisner at second, Mullen at first, Porch at the dish. Curra trying to get out of it. Porch takes ball 1.
Pretty good first pitch, lefty-lefty.
It is a good first pitch. Massive lead at second. Weisner now got to get back, and the throw again. Leafs have dodged some bullets here tonight. Weisner had to hold up to make sure that got down, and the bases are full of fish for Grayson Barrett.
Well, the bat dies a hero.
Designated hitter, number 24.
Just got beyond the
Grayson
infield, and
Barrett.
of course runners having to hold up Mullen and Weisner to make sure that ball does get down, but of course
Wow.
each of them able to get there.
That bat right down the middle.
Bases loaded for Barrett, who hit an absolute moonshot yesterday in London.
Well, Grayson Barrett has a grand slam already this season. One here would send this place into a frenzy.
Was here at home, that slam as well.
It was. Podcast, though, it hit the base of the wall.
I wonder who said that.
I don't know. Just forget about it.
It happens.
Oh, well.
We'll be all right.
1-1 to Barrett. Call the strike, and it's 1-2. That pitch maybe started in the strike zone. Definitely did not end in it. Barrett, chopper to first. Step on the bag. There's one. Come to home. Runner interference. Are they going to call? They are. Weisner's going to be out. Interesting. Wow. He threw it at Barrett, who was running down the first base line. He was not.
That is.
He did not step out of the baseline to intentionally get in front of that baseball. Now Brian Ezri's going to have a conversation here with the umpire.
That's terrible.
I believe he's got to intentionally make a move to get in front of the baseball for that to be called an out.
He has to have 1 foot in the lane at all times.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
And when he fell, he was on the dirt.
It hit Barrett in the hands as well, too. That throw coming home was directly in the base path. Grayson Barrett was in the base path. So that is his right. That's his lane to first base. So the umpires have to deem it wasn't intentional or he was out of the baseline. And I don't think either of those things are true.
Yeah, that's not a good call.
It's a call that's going to help the Maple Leafs out. And once again, the Jackfish get men on base and hit into a double play, regardless of the outcome. They're not even going to chat about this here. Wow. Yeah, not a fan.
He is.
Yeah, I think they're going to argue he, I don't know, stuck his hand out.
And now they're going to move runners back.
Well, now how does that work? So how are they going back to first and second?
So
that makes no sense.
So to me, my understanding is if they're not forced, they stay at the bag that they were previously at. However, they were still forced to move.
There's no way they should be back to second and first base. No, they should be second and third.
It's different. Let's say there was second and third. Or let's say there's a runner at second and that's it, and there was nobody at first. He wasn't forced. I can understand that. But from my understanding, they have to be forced in order to move up, and they were.
I mean, the bases were full. That's as forced as it gets. Right? So they should be at second and third. I'm not too sure why they're back at first and second. That makes absolutely zero sense. Maybe we're reading this situation wrong, but this entire sequence makes zero sense. Because they were off on the pitch anyways. The bases were full. Barrett running to first had to force everybody. Yeah, I don't know. First pitch is outside for ball one. So, I mean, for Welland, it's a double negative.
Yeah,
both the guys are moved out of well, instead of having two in scoring position, now you got one. Plus the double play.
Crowd starting to get on the umpiring crew after that call.
Welcome to Welland. One and one. Hupe all over it, fouls it straight back, and it's 1-2. Well, if the Leafs can once again wiggle their way out of this. This has been a struggle for Welland the past few games, hitting with runners on base. They've gotten the guys there. They just haven't been able to drive them in. Now another situation with runners in scoring position. Taken high.
Well, even on that ground ball, I'm surprised Castaldo didn't come right home.
Yeah.
It wasn't hit hard, but it wasn't hit slow. He would have had plenty of time to get the runner at home plate. Instead, he touches first and then force your catcher into a tag play. That also, I was surprised he did that.
Hupe gets under it. Towering fly ball. Shallow left field. Camped under it is Dave Banning, and the Leafs get out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. So a little bit of controversy here in Welland in the 6th inning, but Toronto gets out unscathed. We head to the 7th, tied at 2 in Welland.
Here at the pond, it's called the CAA Niagara Stack and Dash. Ryan, who is with you tonight?
My all-time favorite. We got Paul and CJ with Emily and Jen. Here's how this works. When I say go, you take off, grab a donut, bring it back, stack it on your partner. Once all 4 are stacked, you take off back to me. First team to cross the line wins $25 of beaties, courtesy of CAA Niagara. Okay, calm down there, guy. Back that way, my friend. Yep. Keep going back. Keep going back. Keep going back. All right, Fanatics, you got the rules. They know the rules. Are you ready? What did I do to you? I said, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. They're off. First donut. This is pretty even thus far, even though it's the first one. Alrighty, down it goes. On the ground, my friend, on the ground, on the ground. Thank you. Here we go. Door number 2. Back. Donut number 3. Ah, you thought you had it in the bag, didn't you? I don't think so. It's going to be a close one tonight. It all comes down to the dash anyway. Here we go, loose tire there. Yes! What are you doing? You gave it away. Or not. Congratulations, Jeff and Emily. You're welcome home with $5 to Petey's. Fanatics, you just gave it away. Gave it right away. Make some noise for our contestants. Aren't they great?
Fans are approaching last call for 50-50 tickets. Jackpot is indeed your take-home, over $2,000. Last call for 50-50 tickets. And our winner tonight from CA, or make that Crime Stoppers of Niagara, Dave Sargent. Dave Sargent, please report to the Crime Stoppers of Niagara table on the concourse. Leading off the 7th inning for Toronto, center fielder Spencer McInnes.
All right, 7th inning here in Welland through 6. 2-2 between the Leafs and Fish. Ben Abram back onto the bump. First pitch from Abram is in there for a strike. Spencer McInnes, the center fielder, in. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Leafs here in the 7th against Ben Abram. Laying down a bunt. It's going to bounce foul. And now that shadow between the pitcher's mound and home plate becomes an issue.
Yeah, especially with Abram's size, how close he gets to home plate when he releases that baseball.
Out-of-town scoreboard. Couple of intriguing scores around the IBL. Bottom of the 1st, the Kitchener Panthers have an 8-0 lead over Hamilton.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So Kitchener coming out swinging. That game, also, Reese, a 7:05 start.
Wow.
Still in the bottom of the 1st.
That's tough. Where in Kitchener or Hamilton?
I said is in the launching pad in Kitchener.
Yeah, you did say that, yeah.
That's exactly what they've
say how many home
they've
runs
done here. I was just about to look here. Oh, wave and a miss. Strike 3. Abram, another punch out, his 4th. Every single out he's gotten here has been via the punch out. One away here in the 7th.
And it's been 2-2. He's gotten a couple of guys looking and a couple of guys swinging. So yeah, other than that home run that he gave up to begin his day, he has been spot on against 4 straight hitters.
Yeah, A.J. Carosis has a home run for the Panthers in the bottom of the 1st in Kitchener. Abram punches in, strike one. Up onto the berm, lookout, 1-2 now the count.
Yeah, that gets on you quickly.
Hamilton, 3 errors.
Wow.
In that first as well. Strike 3 called. Abram, 5 straight punch outs here since entering the ball game. 2 down.
He's just carving up these Maple Leafs hitters. And again, much like you, the strikeouts are fairly quick. You're in the box and then you're not. It's not, there's no fooling around. We're not getting to full counts. It's try and hit the ball. I'm going to throw it around the zone. If you can't, well, go take a seat.
3 looking, 2 swinging for Abram. And Spencer Ross going to try to avoid being number 6. 10 punch outs for Jackfish pitching between Lair and Abram. And he starts him off with strike 1. Pitching once again, Reese, tonight has been fabulous for Welland. Knock at the door of the offense here. They're going to have a couple of more innings here to kind of prove it. Got to find some type of spark. 0-1 on the way is high. Trying to leave DeSantos on deck. Here comes the 1-1. At the knees for a strike, and it's 1-2.
And it's not like any of these strikes are really down the heart of the plate. Like, he is finding the corners on each side.
He missed 1 pitch since coming into this ball game, and it bit him. 1-2 from Abram, looking for 6 straight. That one bounces in.
57-footer. Just trying to get the chase out of the zone. And he can still really do anything. You can see heat. Try and paint that outer corner, inside corner, or go back to the soft stuff again. Try to get a swing and miss.
2-2 from Ben Abram. Long look in. Abram now rocks into the windup. Here it comes. Right there. Strike 3 called. Big Ben, big time. Strikes out the side, back-to-back innings. 6 straight Ks for Abram. 4 of them looking as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Fish looking for offense here on a Saturday night.
Take me out to the ball game.
Thank you, Rodney. Old Harry says, whatever your giddy up is, let's get her going. If we can stretch legs, arms, and especially those lungs. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. And it's root for the Jackfish. If they lose, it's a shame, 'cause it's at the old ball game. All right, what a job.
He's got the Welland Roses hat on tonight. He is Welland's own. Harry Carey fans, the director of funds just told me it's the time to join in and sing along. Shout it out, fanatics. Leading off the 7th inning for your Jackfish, first baseman number 34, Josh Marqueza.
Bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch to Josh Marqueza is well inside, ball 1. Curl back out for his second inning of work after escaping a nobody out, bases loaded jam in the bottom of the 6th. Marqueza takes ball 2. So it'll be 8-9-1 duel up for Welland here. Marqueza, Gom, and then back to the top for Luther. 2-0. Marqueza on the ground at first. Nice job.
On the foul line, but that's another conversation. But the umpires did get it correct. There are certain situations where if runners are forced, they do advance. However, if there is a play at the plate and the runner is deemed out, the runners do move back, whereas if the runner is deemed safe, then Mullen would have stayed at third, and we would have had second and third with 2 outs.
There you go.
6.01 of the official rules of baseball.
There we go. Clear the air.
Still shouldn't have been in that situation anyways.
Yeah, still a big play in this ball game as well. Gom, wave and a miss. He reached out for that one, and it's 1-2. Pitch to Gom. Axes one to second base. Gathered there. Throw on to first is just in time by Ross. As Gom was flying down the first base line, 2 down.
The second baseman, number 20, Brendan Luther.
Sort of a similar play we saw with Luther a little bit earlier on is when he got a ground ball from DeSantos, made it a close play, maybe a little calm, nonchalant with the baseball, but Gom making that one close. It looked like the second baseman, Ross, just took a little bit of extra time to fire that ball to first base.
Austin Gom and Pierre-Olivier Boucher come next week. Extra bats. That one eats up the second baseman, Ross. That'll be an error. Luther's aboard here in the 7th. Can't come quick enough, can they?
No, especially when we get a curveball. And again, congratulations to Jake Sanford. Like, we're not saying this is a bad thing at all. This is a great opportunity for him. We're kind of selfish because we'd like him here all season long. but no, yeah, if they could be here today, that'd be awesome. But we know they're on their way with, very soon is the way I'll put it.
24th, I believe. Boucher will be here. Austin Gom had to make a pit stop at the White House before making it to Welland. Undefeated season. World Series, College World Series. Quite the season for Mr. Gom. Luther dancing around at first. Now pickoff attempt.
Now you've got 2 throwovers. Was thrown out in the first, but he can get a little bit extra here.
James Bradwell with a front seat in behind home plate. Strike is called to Gio. 0-1. Down there with the, I don't know if that's a pitch tracks or a pitch comm or something down there.
Yeah, despite getting the loss yesterday, still threw well, so.
It's a tough luck loss.
Yeah.
I mean, when you put up the numbers he did, give up 1 run, and
it was a ghost runner.
Yeah.
Yep.
0-2 to Gio Morello here in the bottom of the 7th. Curl looking to put up his second straight scoreless inning. Morello fouls it off. just got a piece of it to stay alive. Yeah, so as mentioned, Jackfish 5 days off after tonight. Thursday, next action for Welland.
Davey started throwing too in the bullpen.
Yeah, Mendez up and about, hoping the Jackfish can put across a run here. Either right now or the bottom of the 8th. Still a 2-2 game. Kerr, a long stare over at first. Now comes home, it's outside.
Yeah, it looks like Luther wants to go, but looked like he may have slipped or gotten a bad read a couple of pitches ago, so he had to stop himself.
1-2 to Morello. Morello takes one to left field. Drifting back is Dave Banning. Under it. Secures it. Inning over. Well, the pitcher duel continues here tonight in Welland. 2-2 through 7 innings of play. We head to the 8th in the Rose City. All knotted up between Toronto and Welland.
Present your school ID at the ticket window for half-price tickets. Your attention, please. Could Wayne Brown, please report to the Jackfish office immediately. Wayne Brown, please report to the Jackfish office at the front gate immediately. Thank you. Leading off the
Top 8
inning
here in Welland.
for the
Alec
Maple
Murray,
Leafs,
Reese Demani,
third
thanks for
baseman
joining
Ryan
us.
Dos
Gorgeous
Santos.
night for baseball in the Rose City. Ben Abram back onto the bump. 6 consecutive strikeouts. Gets 1, 2, 3 in the Maple Leaf order. DeSantos, Javier, and Castaldo. Leadoff man homered. That was Castaldo, first man to see Abram when he was entered into the game in the 6th. Deep shot to center. Since then, Abram put it in cruise control. Starts off another man with a strike. 0-1 to DeSantos. Abram winds into his delivery. Comes home, inside, ball 1.
Yeah, it's almost like that home run just took him to another level. And it happens to some guys. You give up a bomb and you're just angry, you know, and you can understand it. I've given up a few, but, you know, you just get mad and you want to do everything yourself,
Yep.
and he's found a way to get 6 straight Ks.
On the verge of 7. Like we mentioned, now 11 punch-outs from Lair and Abram combined here tonight. Great around.
Yeah, and that was a weird one, too, because it was on a pop-up that the transfer just got away from the shortstop Weisner, or else that run doesn't come across.
John Javier on deck. Abram at a 2-2 count to DeSantos. Here comes the offering. Just missing on that outside part of the plate.
Abram thought he had it.
Great pitch. Great pitch. Payoff on the way from Abram. Chopper to first. Marqueza racing in, takes it on a hop. He'll take it himself. DeSantos, the leadoff man, retired. One away here in the 8th.
Designated hitter John.
First man to put it in play, except for Castaldo against Ben Abram here today.
Yeah, the infield's kind of gotten 2 innings off, except for the throw rounds after the strikeouts. But that's a big player to keep off the bases. DeSantos can move, and if he's on with nobody out in a tie ball game, you can bet that he would try to turn anything into a double or a triple, try and swipe a bag or two.
So 2 down, nobody aboard. Check that, 1 down, nobody aboard. As John Javier steps into the batter's box. Javier tonight 0 for 3, struck out back in the 5th. Mullen wanted that one, did not get it, 2-0. Two-0 from Abram on the way. There's one at the knees for a strike.
A couple of really good placed pitches. Didn't get the call on one, but comes back firing. Get himself back into the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now Mullen directing some traffic, pushing Weisner a bit over. Whole infield, actually.
Strike 2.
As we saw everybody but Porch take a couple of steps to their right.
Off the end of the bat, center field, Gio Morello's going to pull up smartly as that one drops in front. Base hit for Javier, his first hit of the night. So 1 on, 1 out here in the 8th. Go ahead run stands at first.
Yeah, we've seen Gio do a couple of cool things so far tonight, but that was a smart play to let that one drop. They'll take their chances with Castaldo. And that single actually ends Abram's night, which you struck out 6. That's a pretty damn good night.
Your attention, please.
So Ben Abram
the game for the Jackfish, number 41.
Goes 2+ innings.
Davey Mendez.
And strikes out 6. Call to the bullpen will bring in Davey Mendez, the closer. Manager Brian Esri not messing around here tonight. Wants to get back in the win column, and this shows as here comes Davey Mendez. Onto the mound, we'll head down to field level as Mendez gets set. 1 on, 1 out here in Welland. So get a good look at Davey Mendez, who comes in the 8th inning to try and preserve a 2-2 tie heading to the bottom half of it. Mendez, once again, impressive numbers this season. Runner at first is Ben Abram's responsibility. Third pitcher of the night for the Welland Jackfish, and Jordan Castaldo makes sense. Abram wouldn't get to see him a second time based off what he did to him in the 6th.
Yeah, Davey coming in to keep the score where it is, and he's also going to get a new left fielder coming into the game as well. Caleb Furistake taking over for Tigam. A little bit more speed in the outfield for the Jackfish late in the ball game.
Excellent defense out there as well. Mendez delivers downstairs for ball 1. So not an easy task here. Castaldo and Connect. Best on best for both sides. Send your top 2 hitters to the plate. We'll send our closer. Go ahead runner stands at first. Mendez delivers high, and it's 2-0.
And that's where Ben Abram got before Castaldo took him deep. It was a 2-0 count coming right out of the pen. And then he went to right center field to make it 2-2.
Hopefully history does not repeat itself. 2-0 to Castaldo. Castaldo sends a high fly ball left field. Deep left field. It's carrying, and it's gone! History does repeat itself. Same count, and Castaldo, his second home run of the game, gives the Maple Leafs the lead. It's a 2-run shot to left center, and Toronto is on top for the first time tonight, as Castaldo has driven in 3 now. And a 4-2 Maple Leafs lead here in the 8th.
A guy that's got power to all fields for this Toronto Maple Leafs squad. Was geared up for a 2-0 fastball against Abram, took him deep to right center. Same situation against Mendez, took him to left center.
That ball is smacked to center field. Morello back, and that one is off the wall. Connect is into second base with a double. Maple Leafs tagging Davey Mendez here in the 8th inning, as Connect struck out 3 times, and that's his first hit of the night. Now 1 for 4. That ball almost got out to center field.
Just won $2,470.
Yeah, with the amount of power that Davey Mendez has in that right arm, you just have to put a good swing on it, and it's going to go. That's what the Leafs have done back-to-back. Just get the barrel through the strike zone for as long as possible, and Davey's going to provide the power.
A shocked ballpark of 2,200. One earned run charged to Mendez. The other one to Abram. So final line on Ben Abram is 2+, 6 Ks, 2 runs given up. Chopper foul. And it's 2-1.
And Davey's just got to pitch ahead. That's still behind in the count, 2-1 here, but
Jackfish haven't lost back-to-back games all season. In danger of doing that here. Still 6 outs to play with. Mendez has to get out of this first, though. Nobody warming in the Jackfish bullpen, so it's Mendez. Seems to be Mendez all the way, as that one is sent out of play. Maybe playable. Porcelado giving it a look. No, it's up into the seats.
And the Jackfish will have 3, 4, 5 due up in the 8th inning. You said it, you've got 6 outs to score 2 runs. Preferably 3, but at minimum 2.
Two is outside. It's full count.
He hasn't thrown a ton of soft stuff yet in this outing, but doesn't seem like he has a really good feel for that breaking ball. A couple that have gotten away from him.
Mendez trying to get Moreno. The battle continues as he sends another one out of play.
And that's a tough thing when you're the catcher. If you're Robert Mullen, you know that the breaking ball on the 2 or 3 or 4 that he's thrown really haven't been sharp like we're used to seeing. So in a 3-2 count to get the ball over the plate, you know you got to come with gas, and the hitter has to expect it too.
Another 3-2 coming from Mendez. Here it is. That one is sent left center field. Furistake with a slide makes the catch. That's why he was inserted into the ball game at left field. Caleb Furistake, nice grab out in left to save a gap shot and another run. 2 away. And Brian Esery now out to have a chat with Davey Mendez, and the entire infield's going to jog on in. Just a great read from Furistake. Uses that speed, and I mean, that's a massive, massive grab at this point in this ball game.
Yeah, the trajectory of the ball looked like it had a really good chance to dip down and get down for a single, but then all of a sudden, in comes number 37 in white and makes a nice sliding grab, and you almost thought that Connect got a little bit too far off of second base for a line drive that ended up in left center field. So
they're going to walk Justin Mara here. Mara tonight 2 for 3. Couple of singles, but an intentional walk from Mara. And they would rather pitch to Spencer McInnes, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out back in the 7th. Ground out and a fly out.
Now batting for Toronto, center fielder Spencer McInnes.
Yeah, Mara's had a couple of good at-bats. I kind of had that in the back of my mind, wondering if they'd put him on, get a force everywhere.
Makes a lot of sense. Take the bat out of Mara's hand, one of the better hitters in this Maple Leaf lineup. See if McInnes can make it pay. First pitch is fouled back to the screen, 0-1.
Well, we saw the Jackfish do that last night in London, where they loaded the bases on a couple of intentional walks in the 9th inning. We're ultimately able to get to the 10th, where they had intentionally walked another hitter. But then, of course, the Majors walked it off. But it's smart. 0-1 count here now, and yeah, Mara, one of the better hitters on the team.
Not sure where that pitch was.
Mullen doesn't look back often, and when he does, he's got a pretty good understanding of the strike zone.
Veteran catcher. 1-1 to McInnes. Big cut and miss, and now it's 1-2. 2 on, 2 out. Mendez trying to leave it right where it is. Connect at second. Mara at first, McInnes at the dish. 4-2 Leafs Castaldo. A 2-home run game. 1 of the 6th, now 1 in the 8th. Here comes Mendez home. Strike 3 called. McInnes doesn't like it. Mendez gets the call. Inning over, but not before Jordan Castaldo sends another one out of the ballpark. This one, a 2-run shot to put the Maple Leafs up 4-2. Jackfish offense. Some work to do here in this one. 6 outs to play with. As we'll step aside, we'll be back for the bottom of the 8th.
Callum and Camden for musical chairs. Pretty simple. You guys ready? Fanatics are our last one of the night. Make some noise for our contestants. All right, DJ, hit that beat. There it is. You're out. Oh, that's tough. Oh, a little sass there too. Okay. We're down to 3. All right, make some noise. Here we go. Hit the beat. There we go. Now the final two. Here we go. Hit the beat. Congratulations, you're walking home with a Jackfish t-shirt and 4 tickets for the future game. Make some noise for our competitors. Aren't they awesome?
Leading off the 8th inning for your Welland Jackfish, the shortstop, number 4, Jonah Weisner.
Nathan Curra continuing to work here for the Maple Leafs. Now into the 8th inning. Throwing up a couple of scoreless innings for Toronto since coming out of the bullpen. Jonah Weisner leads things off. First pitch swinging, grounds it foul. Well, the Welland offense that has been oh so good all season long needs to find some of that magic here in this one. Weisner, right field base hit. That's a good start. Big turn at first base as Weisner will lead it off with a single.
4th hit of the day. 3rd single to go along with his inside the park homer.
Dustin Richardson is getting loose in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs, and you wonder how long the leash is on Curra. Richardson, a veteran in the IBL. Very good closer for the Maple Leafs. Curra delivers outside for ball 1, Robert Mullen. Right guy, right time with a runner on. Robbie's due for one here. Yep. 1-0 to Mullen. It's outside 2-0.
This is their counterpunch to Castaldo. If anyone can put it over the fence, try and tie the game, it's this guy.
He's got a flair for the dramatic. Weisner, big lead over at first. Curra's going to throw over. Weisner back in with a dive. Just something to give this ballpark a jolt.
Yeah, get them back in it.
2-0. Loops in for a strike. See Mullen laughing. Wonder how fast that pitch was. Looked like it might have hit 50. That was a slow looper. 2-1 on the way from Curra. Robert Mullen lights one up. That ball is fouled down the line. Just out in front of it.
Didn't have the distance to get over the wall, but definitely would have been extra bases. Would have at least.
2-2 to Robbie Mullen. Reaching out to protect. Fouls it off to stay 2-2.
Yeah, that pitch is a situation where it probably isn't a strike, but tonight it might be.
And Robert Mullen, of all people, knows that.
Yeah.
Making the adjustment. Pick over. That's the second one. So Weisner, advantage. Two-two on the way. Robbie Mullen again, deep left field, hooking foul.
Man. He's got a big smile on his face, too.
He's got to straighten one of those out. That ball was well gone into foul territory. Another 2-2 coming to Mullen. Weisner off for second. Mullen reaches out and pokes one into center field. Weisner on the move, going to get the stop sign at third. Runners at the corners, nobody away here in the 8th. And now they're going to look and see if Richardson is ready or not.
And it looks like they gave the wave of the hat, saying that, yeah, he's good. But yeah, they hit and run perfection there for the Welland Jackfish.
What a piece of hitting by Robert Mullen. Now 3 for 4 tonight. Just a great job to go with the baseball, Reese.
Yeah, that's the adjustment. He destroyed 2 balls down the left field line, and he didn't get a pitch that he could do that again. So, yeah, you got to put the bat on the ball. And again, it worked out that the runner, Weisner, was on the move. And if he's not, that's probably a line out.
So here's your player manager coming into the ball game. Dustin Richardson. We've talked about Richardson, a veteran in the IBL. Ton of experience under his belt. Really good arm. He can really ramp it up there. And Richardson now, big task at hand, comes into the ball game. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. And he's going to try and save this game for the Maple Leafs.
Your attention, please.
Reese,
now
and
pitching for the Toronto Maple
once
Leafs.
again,
Number
Welland
13,
runners
Dustin
on the base
Richardson.
paths. Nobody out. They have to find a way to get at least 1 run in this inning. At least.
Absolutely. This is probably at least the 3rd time that we've seen this couple of guys on with nobody out. Happened back in the 4th. They got 1. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of a double play off the bat of Porch. And then, you look at the 6th inning as well. A single, a walk, and a single to begin that inning. And an unfortunate call that took place. We're not going to stick on that. But yeah, so this will be inning number 3 where you have a couple guys on and nobody out. And again, you have to hope for more than 1. It's as much as grounding into a double play scores a run. I mean, at this point in the game, you can't have that. You got to find a way. Maybe if you only make 1 out and still get the run home and find a way to do that, but a double play and a run scored is not going to work. So Porch, he knows that too. It'll be a tough matchup, lefty-lefty, but also the way he's come on since the first 2 games that he's joined the club this season, he's been fun to watch in that box, and he's got a ton of power.
This is usually a spot where you'd see Jake Sanford.
Yeah,
just to note as well, right?
Plugged in the 5-hole, absolutely.
Tonight, 1 for 3, did hit into that double play back in the 4th. Didn't get credited with the run batted in, but he also singled in the 6th. Take another single here. Mullen at first, Weisner at 3rd. Nobody away. Richardson, the closer, into the ball game. Trying to get 6 outs. And he's going to stare down home plate on his first pitch of the night.
That's not necessarily the best first impression to give an umpire once you come into the game.
Porcelano fouls it off, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything special. As much as a 3-run homer would absolutely get this crowd rocking. Like you said, just a single will work. Score 1, still got 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
Two and 1.
Those are real close. Real good takes.
Been called strikes tonight.
Has been inconsistent in the game.
Porcelano getting the benefit here. 2 and 1 to Porch. Richardson comes set. And another foul off over top of our heads here at the broadcast booth, 2 and 2. So now you got to shorten up and protect.
You got to find a way to get the ball past the pitcher. Infield's back. They're not playing to get the runner at home.
Well, 2-run lead. 2-2 to Porcelano. Strikes another one foul, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, this is a battle. between Richardson and Porch. Lefty power on the mound, lefty power in the box. And we'll see if they try to go back to that outer corner.
Battle. Maple Leafs 4 runs on 6 hits and an error. Jackfish just shows you how much they've struggled with hitting with runners on. 2 runs on 10 hits. Double-digit hits and 2 runs. Not very often. 2-2 again. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Froze Porch. 1 away.
Yeah, Porch knew it.
I mean, you don't stand at a 2-2 count thinking he's going to break off a breaking ball. Just couldn't get the bat off the shoulder. I mean, at some point, something's got to give here in this lineup. Somebody's got to come through. Barrett tried to give Welland the lead with 1 swing of the bat. Comes up empty 0-1.
Yeah, I hope that one of the next 2 guys can try and pick each other up.
Another lefty in Barrett. You got a righty in Hoope on deck. Barrett, little flare to third base. DeSantos has it, 2 down. Once again, you had 2 guys on and nobody out. Can't get a ball in the infield. Fouled off. That one's going to get back into the seats. Look out. Here it comes. Ricochets to the front row. Group of kids down there make the grab. And now it's 0-2 on Hoope. Richardson trying to work out of another jam for the Leafs. Jackfish trying not to strand more runners inside.
Richardson's got a couple to waste here. Pitchers probably hate when we say that, but he could do whatever he wants still. Ahead 1-2.
1-2 on the way outside. The count's Hoope trying to find a gap. Tying run at first. Hoope sends one to dead center field, drifting back McInnes. McInnes is under it, and the Jackfish strand more runners on base. Cannot come through as Richardson comes on with 2 on and nobody out and works out of it.
Fans, you know the fun.
We head to the 9th. 4-2 Leafs here in Welland.
Again, join a little singing of Country Roads.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenanigans River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than
Leading off the 9th inning for the Maple Leafs, left fielder Dennis Banning.
Top of the 9th here in Welland. Leafs leading the Jackfish 4-2 in their first trip to the Rose City this year. That ball is struck well to center field, sending Gio Morello back at the track, and that one's off the base of the wall. Dave Banning thought it was out of the ballpark. Makes it into second, though, and a leadoff double for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, he's lucky that went to dead center. Like you said, he thought it was gone. If that's in any other part of the ballpark, he probably gets thrown out at second base. But it went to dead center field.
He gave the little
Second baseman Spencer
the
Ross.
peace sign on his way around first base. Fortunate enough, he doesn't get caught. With the way the ball is flying tonight, though. Jackfish tonight have stranded 7 runners on base. And Reese, 5 of those 7 runners stranded on base. All were on base with no outs. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th. 2 on in the bottom of the 8th, nobody out.
Yep.
Mendez is 0-1. Showing bunt, pulling back high, ball 1.
I'm not sure I quite understand bunting up 2 runs, runner on second, nobody out. I understand you want him to get a third, less than 2 outs and sacrifice an out, but it's a good way to potentially spark a comeback in the bottom half. Giving away outs this late in the game in a 2-run score.
Going to try it again. That one's popped up. Mullen going to have to be quick with it. He doesn't have a play, and a bunt single, and it's all unraveling here in the 9th inning. I mean, realistically, it's just stunned. Toronto's finding ways to get on base and finding ways to come through, and now you let the 8-9 reach, Reese, and now you got to deal with the top of the order as DeSantos steps in for the 5th time tonight. He's 0 for 4. He shows bunt and puts it down. Porcelano's going to throw on to first in time. DeSantos does the job. Now 2 in scoring position with less than 2 outs for the big boys.
And now that you can't get a double play, unless, well, you can if you get somebody out on a fly ball and then throw behind the runner if they're caught too far, but that would almost certainly mean that Castaldo gets another crack at it. At which point, if first base is open, it's not a bad idea to probably put him on, especially if there's 2 outs.
Take Connect over Castaldo at this point. John Javier fouls one off, 0-1.
Yeah, you take that favorable matchup with a right-handed hitting Connect over the left-handed hitting Castaldo. You know, other than the fact he has 2 home runs today.
Massive shift in the outfield for the Jackfish. Playing Javier to opposite.
Yeah, I think the Maple Leafs are all over that. They know that the only pitch that's in the zone right now is his fastball, and they're all over it. It's just about timing. You got to be able to catch up. It's like I said, he'll provide the power for you.
2nd and 3rd, 1 away, top of the 9th. Leafs trying to add on here to an already 2-run lead. Big cut and a miss, and it's 1-2. Chase ball 3. I think you elevate again.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's a big pitch right here.
Massive pitch coming up for Mendez. Jack Seward in the bullpen, getting loose in case they need another arm. Mendez is 1-2, outside corner, ball 2. I got to be pretty confident there's a 0% chance Castaldo keeps the bat in his hands if first base is open. And now time is called.
That's why you have to get this out.
It's a massive out. Realistically, got to act like there's nowhere to put him. 2-2 on
At the plate.
A 2-2 will line up and do it again. Javier sends one in the air right at Furistake, makes the catch. Here comes the throw home. It is on target, bounces in, but just able to get under the tag is Dave Banning, and it's a 3-run lead for the Maple Leafs. Sacrifice fly for John Javier to extend the lead, now 5-2.
Yeah, not worst case scenario. I mean, you give up a run, but you get your second out. With Castaldo coming up. And it looks like they're going to let him swing.
I don't know.
It might have depended on that 5th run coming across. If there's
think
2
so.
outs at 4-2, maybe they do it.
You still got first base open, though. I mean, you've had a higher success rate against Connect. He struck out 3 times.
And then you give yourself the option of every base.
You also know this, too. We mentioned it earlier. Mendez struggles, or has been struggling with that secondary pitch. Castaldo's looking for one spot and one spot only.
Yep.
It's a fastball in the strike zone. Both of his home runs have come on 2-0 pitches. Both have been a fastball in the zone. Mendez 1-0. 2-0 count again.
Yeah, I know the breaking ball hasn't been there, but you can't throw a fastball to get yourself back in the count.
Unless it's, hey, pitch to him, but don't give him anything to hit. He's driven in 3 of the 5 Maple Leaf runs tonight. 3-0.
That was the best pitch he's seen 2-0 all day. Castaldo. That the Jackfish have thrown him. It was off the plate inside. Mullen tried to get the call, but that's where you go 2-0.
3-0. He does throw him a fastball, and it's in there for a strike. Seen Davey go to that rosin bag a bunch of times here in this inning. It's another indication of trying to get a grip on the baseball. 3-1 to Castaldo. It's inside ball 4. So we saw one pitch hit, but it was in a 3-0 count. And Castaldo will take a walk.
And now you get Connect up, which he did double his last time to the plate against Davey. However, 3 Ks before that. Hoping to get the final out here, get your offense back to the plate. Have to imagine Richardson's back out for the 9th.
Have to imagine you're going to see probably a couple pinch hitters in the bottom half of the 9th inning for the Jackfish. Mendez pumps in strike 1 to Connect. You got Marqueza, Furistake, Luther due up. 8, 9, and 1. On the ground to second base. Luther sizes it up. On to first. Is in time. But the Maple Leafs do get an insurance run. A sacrifice fly to make it 5-2. Richardson back out onto the bump. Last call for the Jackfish, who try to avoid losing back-to-back games. First time all season.
Leading off the ninth inning for your Jackfish. First baseman, number 34, Josh Marquesa.
Last call for Welland against Richardson. 3 outs to get for the Maple Leafs. Marquesa takes ball 1. 8-9-1 due up for the Jackfish. Looking to spark a rally. They're down 3. Out-of-town scoreboard, quick glance, bottom of the 5th in Kitchener. 10-1 Panthers over the Hamilton Cardinals. 1-1 Barrie in Chatham as Marquesa takes ball 2. That game in the top of the 7th. And the Guelph Royals have a 5-2 lead over the Brantford Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th in Guelph. Let's look at your out-of-town scoreboard across the IBL tonight. Only one team not in action, the London Majors. 3-0 to Marquesa.
Richardson's trying to reset right now. A little frustrated after that last one.
I mean, last thing you want to do after your team gets you one insurance run is walk the leadoff man. 3-0. Strike 1.
That's an automatic take in this situation. Need base runners badly.
Marquesa single back in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Comes back with strike 2, and now it's a full count.
And with the 3-run cushion, Richardson has the freedom to just go after hitters. Just pump it in the zone, try and hit it.
High ball 4. He walked him. Marquesa aboard.
The left fielder, number 37, Caleb Furistake.
So Furistake will hit with a runner on, and his first at-bat, he came in as a defensive replacement a couple innings ago for Tyson Gaum. Showing bunt, pulls back, strike 1 regardless. Crazy amount of speed at the dish. Pulls around a square again, and it's a ball, so 1-1.
And probably the last thing that the Leafs are thinking up 3 runs. They have pulled the third baseman in.
He's going to try and get one down here. Squares around, puts it in a tough spot. Furistake is going to reach. It's a perfect bunt. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Into no man's land. It was executed to perfection. Little bit of life here in the ninth for the Jackfish, but we've seen this all game. Now, Reese, you got to hit with runners on.
Yeah, you've got no leeway. There's no next inning unless you get to 5. Again, you've got the top of the lineup coming up.
The big boys lingering. 2 on, nobody out. Luther takes strike 1. Luther tonight is 1 for 4. Singled back in the first. Couple of flyouts. Reached on air in the 7th. Marqueza at second. Furistake at first. Luther takes high, ball 1. Anything to a gap, Furistake is going to score.
Yeah, and this is the guy the Leafs are concerned about at the plate, Luther. Really, the base runners mean nothing. Yeah, you're right. Furistake scores on anything in a gap.
Luther fouls one back, and it's 1-2.
And there's a ton of room in left center field over by the scoreboard.
So 8 and 9 do their job and get on base. Now it's... I'm going to tell him you said that.
That's all right.
One and 2 again to Luther. Big breaking ball, stays high. Soft hands over at third base. Ricky Piliteri. Hates when we talk about him on the broadcast. So that's why we talk about him.
So we'll talk about him more.
Exactly.
Right, gotcha. Yep.
2 and 2. Luther fights another one off.
Just find a way.
There's a will, there's a way. Jackfish down 3. Big looping breaking ball. Fouled into the catcher's mitt. Strike 3, 1 down. Gio Morello's turn now with 1 out.
Number 11, Gio.
It's almost like a mental block in this lineup. As soon as you get in big spots with runners on, it's almost like trying to do too much.
Yeah, it's like you get the yips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it's strange. Again, this is a ball club that scored 23 runs in Kitchener. Now I understand the ball flies there,
Yeah,
but
that entire week though, Reese, it was double-digit wins, double-digit runs scored.
Yep.
Big kind of miss from Gio, and it's 0-1.
And he was late on that fastball. Again, just simplify. Find a way to put the ball in play. Saw it die off of the bat of Furistake off the bunt. It can die on the grass. And Gio can leg those out. He's got the speed to do it.
Ton of space in left center field. Ton of space. Gio's due tonight. He's 0 for 4. Chases one outside, and it's 1-2.
As much power as this lineup has, this is, you could say, the one flaw with a lefty-heavy lineup. You get a guy like Richardson on the bump, it gets very hard for left-handed hitters. No matter what spot. Guys on, no guys on.
Strike 3. Morello down on strikes. Richardson Let's 8-9 reach, and 1-2 go down via strikes. Story of tonight. Last hope for the Jackfish is Jonah Weisner. I mean, if there's one guy who has been very good tonight, this is the exact guy you want up at the dish. 4 for 4. He scored both the fish runs. 3 singles and a homer. He has been excellent tonight. Can Weisner find it here? In a big spot. First pitch is outside.
And really the matchup that the Jackfish are looking for, or that they would love to have, is Robert Mullen coming to the dish as he stands on deck. That's your right-hander.
Jonah Weisner's got to find some grass here first. Strike is called outside. 1-1. Richardson taking some more time now on the mound. In tight. 2-1.
Me in my head thinking he should have worn it. Wasn't that close.
We got ice. 2-1 to Weisner. Trying to come through here with 2 out. Trying to tie the game with 1 swing, and it's 2-2. Wind blowing straight out. Last strike. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count to Weisner. Richardson set. Here comes the pitch. That is not a strike 3. That is a horrendous way to end the ball game as Weisner gets rung up on ball 3. And the Maple Leafs come into Welland and get a big-time victory, though. The other side of things, Jordan Castaldo was amazing tonight. He drove in 3, 2 home runs, and a guy who's 4 for 4. I think he's got a little bit better of knowledge of the strike zone than to go down looking in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, again, all day it was a fairly inconsistent zone, but throughout the 9 innings, you got to understand that anything a ball or 2 off of the plate, you have to be able to protect. You have to understand that it could go either way, whether it's on the plate or not. But that's 9 stranded on base, and the 4th inning where there's been nobody on, and you couldn't get 1 home.
7 runners on base with nobody out, Reese, and the Jackfish can't find a way to scratch one of them across the plate.
Yeah.
Right? And inside the park home run from Weisner to start things off. The other RBI came after was a double play. So it wasn't even a run batted in for Mateo Porcelato. And I mean, scratch your head a little bit for this team that was so offensively gifted and so offensively good.
Yep.
You look at the top 2 hitters, Gio Morello and Brendan Luther, combining 1 for 10 tonight. I mean, that just can't happen if you're the Welland Jackfish. Jonah Weisner carried the load offensively, like we mentioned, 4 for 5 for him. An unfortunate last at bat. But it just has to be better, and I think that's as easy as you can put it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. You move Weisner down to try and get a little more offense in the middle of the lineup with Sanford going up to the Ottawa Titans. And, Luther has been phenomenal out of the 9 spot. Like we said, he's been kind of that second leadoff hitter to turn things over for the top of the order. But just tough day at the office for him. He let off the Jackfish offense with a single in the first, but then only reached down an error the rest of the way. So, Weisner and Mullen combining for 6 hits for the Jackfish, and that's just not good enough. You're right, it's not good enough. The Stars have to be a little bit better.
Yeah, so Welland Jackfish dropped their 2nd consecutive game, the first time they've dropped 2 straight this season. Back to the drawing board. They're going to get some reinforcements middle of this week. Pierre-Olivier Boucher will be in town on the 23rd or 24th, I believe. Austin Gom shortly after, hopefully. So reinforcements are on the way for the Welland Jackfish
Game fireworks.
as they once again get a great start from Euclides Lair. Great follow-up from Ben Abram, who struck out 6 straight batters at one point in his outing. Jordan Castaldo was the hero for the Maple Leafs tonight, who get a big one on the road. They come into Welland and beat the Jackfish in front of 2,200. We thank you for joining us on Jackfish TV as we'll sign off from the Rose City. For all of us here in Welland, he's Reese Dumani. I'm Alec Murray. We'll see you next Thursday night in Welland.